right now, a driver's dash cam capturing the seconds right before a deadly plane crash in Miramar today.
A student pilot was killed in that crash. The instructor was injured. And
this not the first time we've reported on that flight school. Local 10's Ian Margol live with more on this. Ian.
So Mark Daniel Scott was the 25-year-old student pilot who was killed this morning. He and his instructor took off from North Perry Airport, right where we were standing right here. And just a little while later, about 3 miles to the west, they crashed. And it turns out, as we mentioned, Wayman Aviation Academy, this is not the first time this flight school has had problems with their planes.
We pray for the families, and I think they did as well as they could in the situation they were in.
An investigation is now underway after a student pilot was killed and an instructor was seriously injured in a plane crash on Tuesday morning.
We had a training aircraft coming in from a normal training flight. The details are not known yet. We're investigating it along with the FAA, but they put the aircraft down on Pembroke Road.
Eddie Louie is the vice president of Wayman Aviation, a flight school based at North Perry Airport. Apparently, the student, 25-year-old Mark Daniel Scott, and his instructor had only been in the air for a short period of time before alerting the tower that they needed to come back. But for some reason, they couldn't make it. And while trying to put the plane down on Pembroke Road near Hiatus, they clipped a power line and crashed before skidding to a halt and catching on fire. Scott, who Louie tells us was experienced and nearly done with his training, was pronounced dead on the scene, and the instructor was rushed to Memorial Regional Hospital.
The flight training is all about emergency operations. It's about what happens in case of this, in case of that, and they seem to have followed those procedures just fine. But the timing was not right for them.
This isn't the first time the Wayman Aviation Academy has been in the news. Just a couple of years ago, in August of 2018, an instructor and student were flying from Punta Gorda back to the school and were forced to land on I-75. They both walked away unharmed. And in 2016, another Wayman aircraft lost power and crashed in the Everglades. Fortunately, the two people on board at the time survived. And again, the student, Mark Daniel Scott, was apparently a senior student here at this flight school. He was nearly done with his training. We do not have the identity of the instructor. We're still working on confirming that. We can tell you, though, his injuries were serious. His family was going to the hospital when he was taken to Memorial Regional. Now, we're going to stay on top of this one. As soon as we get any updates, of course, we'll let you know. We can tell you the FAA and the NTSB are investigating the cause of this crash. Live in Pembroke Pines at North Perry Airport, I'm Ian Margol, Local 10 News.